We've really quarantined recovery and treatment into a lot of separate boxes. And a lot of times those boxes don't talk to each other, right? So I have a therapist who doesn't necessarily talk to the person I'm seeing about my meds, and then, right? So, integrating those pieces is what's really, really important. That's the integrated in the Boulder Integrated Health, is trying to really talk with all the stakeholders in this person's life as much as possible. What's the best plan, and how do we integrate all of that? So if they're still in school, how do we make sure that they have support with that? Boulder Integrated Health is really about looking at the whole person. It's a holistic approach, which that word gets thrown around a lot, so I don't even really like it. It's basically looking at the whole person. It's looking at every aspect of that person to see where the challenges lie and to see where the changes need to be made. And I think a lot of people have had unrealistic expectations sold to them about what the requirement is of them to engage in this process. It's really so much about approach. It's so much about the ability to improvise clinically when you need to, or to know where certain things are drawn attention, that, oh, we need to really consider more of this. And it means referring to specialists where need be, or bringing people in to be able to look at different pieces, because otherwise you're just playing whack-a-mole with symptoms. And you never catch up playing whack-a-mole with symptoms, because usually the cure for the symptoms that we're having causes its own secondary problems. I don't know how you really treat and work with people without looking at all aspects of their life, including their dreams, their hopes, their creativity, all of it. Most everybody that comes here, and certainly both at AIM House and now at Boulder Integrated Health, they'll have sort of a set thing of like, when I get better, I'll do this, right? I'm gonna write that book. I'm gonna record some music. I'm gonna learn how to play guitar. I'm gonna learn how to ride a horse. Like, whatever those things might be, there are these things that are always pushed into the future because our mental health and our addiction issues really hold us back from ever realizing those things. So we find that when we start to introduce people to bits and pieces of that, so we have the Made Life program that we're closely associated with. Somebody literally can come in and start their own podcast. It's a part of treatment. Some of it's right into the actual integrated into the schedule. Others of it are integrated there, and then some take a deeper dive kind of outside of there, either on their own time or doing a creative accelerator project that's actually separate. But I firmly believe it's not about promising people, oh, your life's going to be the greatest thing ever. It's more about saying that you'll actually have a chance to do these things if you stay the course, and you're no longer being run by drugs and alcohol. You're no longer being run by your depression and your anxiety. As those things start to lift, we really want to be able to replace those things with the things that you've always wanted to do. It's a step-by-step process. It's kind of, we're talking dreams and stuff right away, but we're actualizing those as we go through this process. But I absolutely believe there needs to be things that we're aiming for and that we're shooting for, even if they change over time. I encourage people to just call and check it out with us, right? Like, we don't go out of our way to say, oh, every single call, you got to admit them and put them in the because sometimes you might get a call and go, yeah, this is actually too much care for you right now. Or maybe it's not enough, right? Like, oftentimes people need a higher level of care to actually go away, be away, not sleep in their own bed, go someplace else. We look at where the person's at. We're not afraid to say, it seems almost like overkill right now. And we're not afraid to say, hey, we're not enough for you right now. We are going to be very honest with you about whether we can help or whether we can't. And then sometimes you don't know till you get started. And you get started and you see that, and it's the right level of care. And then sometimes people need more. I think a good program is creative, and a good program is honest. They have to look and assess as they go and make sure that you're meeting the needs of the individual at the right time. It's a vibe.
What about the
That's all. Just say that. It's a vibe.
vibe?